What happened here?
An encounter with ancient Avar, and not a friendly one. Ameridan and his companions were outnumbered in an unfamiliar place. If Ameridan's not here, perhaps someone bought him the time needed to keep going?
If this is the resting place of Heron and Dorina, it only remains because the Avar took time to honor them.
Respect for a worthy adversary? It wouldn't be out of place.
What do you know about Heron?
When the Templar Order was first formed, Sir Heron was among its members. He's arguably the most famous of the original Templars, though he was never one of their leaders. He's better known as one of Inquisitor Ameridan's confidants. They'd known each other since youth.
So they were close. Friends.
When Ameridan was made Inquisitor, Heron's position in his inner circle was assumed. A few ballads about them survive. The type with adventures and happy endings. I don't know if they're true. They remind me of my brothers, though.
What can you tell me about Orina?
Orina was an alchemist in Orzammar. It's said she met Ameridan while dealing with a demon, but it's not known why Ameridan was there. Demons aren't common in the deep roads, but they were a problem for the Inquisition at the time. Orina knew she could help, so she joined Ameridan.
If she left Orzammar, that would make her a surfacer.
She turned her back on the stone, though it's said she had few regrets. Some claim she was actually from one of Orzammar's noble families, but who can say? She never used her last name on the surface, and once exiled, the family likely struck her name from personal documents. Professor Kenrick petitioned Orzammar's Shaperit to grant access to their records, but the request was turned down.
What will you do with this information?
Professor Kenrick will expect detailed notes on the location, stone and clay samples, and any trace artifacts I can find. If Ameridan's history is compiled, this could be worth an entire chapter. I might get credit on the inside cover.
Thank you, Colette.
Inquisitor.
I'm dreaming.
What drew so many spirits to this place, I wonder? It may have formed from the battle that took place here, not the breach.
I expect to find him in dreaming. But the blood, she's gone. Telana wanted to reach Ameridan again, one more time, but she couldn't. I couldn't. I died. I tried to stay, but only pieces came through. You opened the sky for the rest of me.
Solus, this seems like something you might be able to help with.
Pain drew the wraiths, but this spirit touched the mind of someone who cared for Inquisitor Ameridan.
Ameridan. Yes. Inquisitor. Beloved. She came with Ameridan to hunt the dragon.
The dragon.
Huge. Power like none had seen. It came from the mountains with the Avar. Towns fell, all dead. One last favor for Emperor Draken. Slay the Avar dragon. Save Orlais.
There are no records of a dragon, so he must have killed it. And died doing so.
Yes. If he had lived, he would have found her, me. But he didn't. And no one ever knew. They fought at the shore. Spirits and magic. Cold. So cold. How I found her. How she found us. They rested here, then up the river. Metal spires. A way to stop the dragon. Then Telana returned here, alone, to wait for him. Forever waiting. Dreaming, then dead.
We'll find Ameridan. You don't have to wait here anymore.
You have done all she asked of you. Be free.
Thank you. It was hard. She went a long time ago. I stayed because she asked. Her things are there. She wanted them found.
May I help you, Inquisitor?
A spirit on the island held the memories and possessions of Ameridan's lover, a woman named Telana. It told us that Ameridan was here on orders from Emperor Draken himself, and where he went next.
Andraste's dimples. I may have received tenure from that sentence alone. Ameridan had a lover. Telana, you said. The Inquisitor's Lady Mage. There was such debate over whether she existed. And there were orders? This was a request from Draken? This changes everything.
When I helped the Avar at Stonebear Hold, we learned that the Jaws of Hakkon once bound their god's soul to a beast. According to the spirits, the dragon Ameridan faced was powerful and accompanied by hostile Avar.
You believe they could be one and the same? That would mean... Of course! Of course! Brilliant! 800 years ago, the Second Blight threatened a weak Orlais. A perfect time for the Avar to attack. This Avar god dragon could have endangered the Olesian Empire had Ameridan not stopped it. That explains why he would accept such a dangerous mission. And likely how he died.
History forgot about an attack by a giant magic dragon. If you want something done right. The spirit said to follow the river to the north, and something about spires or spikes.
Up the river, the scouts have had trouble with Hakkonites up there. I'll continue my research, but for now, your guess is as good as mine.
What do you need me to do next, Professor?
That spirit on the island said something about Ameridan going up river to, someplace with spires? While you search upriver, I'll continue studying these buckles. That, sounded better in my head.
How were you assigned to the Inquisition?
I studied primarily the early Chantry, particularly around the signing of the Navaran Accord. That was why I transferred to the University of Orlais, closer to the source than Starkhaven. Sadly, most scholars took Inquisitor Ameridan's history as settled, even with so many questions remaining. No one took my ideas seriously until your Inquisition formed. I wrote Ambassador Montpellier, and, well, here we are.
What's it like at the University of Orlais?
Oh, it's brilliant. Some of the greatest minds I've ever known. The university was always well regarded, but Empress Celine made it the envy of all Thedas. She even got them to start admitting elves. Few bent noses, but it's worth it. Knowledge knows no bounds and all. With that unpleasantness with Grand Duke Gaspard done, the university is safe as a haven for knowledge.
I take it you're not from Orlais originally.
No, Starkhaven. Fourth son of Lord and Lady Kenrick, destined for Chantry service. Fortunately, I convinced them the university might be a fashionable alternative.
I'd like to discuss Inquisitor Ameridan.
Of course, your predecessor. Existing historical records are contentious. Some say he was a devout Andrastian. Others suggest he cared little for religion, gaining leadership of the Seekers through Emperor Draken's friendship. He disappeared around the time the Seekers of Truth, the original Inquisition, incorporated into the newfound Chantry. Historians assumed he retired to go dragon hunting. Our new information should shake up academic circles profoundly.